guys, and welcome to the very first episode of Cakewalk. Now, in case you didn't notice, this week's theme is Bee and PuppyCat. And if you don't know what Bee and PuppyCat is, I pity you and you need to educate yourself. And it wouldn't be an episode of Cakewalk without a puppy cat. So why don't we make one today? Okay, so we actually need for this cake. And these are super frozen. I made these this morning and I put them in the freezer. Okay. So this is what's actually going to be our puppy cat. Let's put some frosting on the board. I'm gonna unwrap my cakes. I want to do this all in one piece, so he's gonna have his body. We're not gonna fill him just yet because we want to get our carved shape out. If I did fill him, he would have frosting everywhere. Okay, so for PuppyCat, we're doing chocolate cake. Just a personal preference. Everyone loves chocolate cake. Unless you're weird or don't love yourself. Okay, so now we're going to start carving his head and his big old belly. This is why you wanted your cakes frozen. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to get such clean cuts. Have you ever watched any of those cake shows and they say, oh, well, you want to carve really slowly because you can't put more cake on once you take it off. And that's true up to a point because there's always cake paste, which I love, but more on that later. I like to cut really big and then regret it later. So now we're just putting all these cake scraps in the bowl. And this is going to come in handy later. Even though it looks really weird, it's just like a bowl of cake scraps. Okay, so now PuppyCat is looking somewhat like PuppyCat. He's got his tummy and his head, but he's a little flat on top. But first we're going to fill him up because no one wants to eat cake with just, you know. And this is why we didn't fill it before. See? We got some frosting. Gonna put some frosting. You can put as much frosting as you like. I'm not a big frosting person, but just enough so you get some in your cake. Right back to where we were. Just keep going through the layers. This is a buttercream. You can use one of those canned frostings. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not in your home with you. But I think those taste pretty good anyway. This is also why your cake is frozen, so you can move it around like this. If you tried this with a fresh cake, it would have fell apart already. So for this, I'm gonna use gloves. I don't want a bunch of crumbs underneath my fingernails. So cake paste is basically just what's in a cake pop. Some cake decorators don't like to use it. I think it's good. I think it's yummy. You can always use Rice Krispie treats. I don't really care for Rice Krispie treats. They're just marshmallow and cereal. That sounds like a teacher's way to make you think like you're having a treat. So we're just mushing this up, breaking it apart. Breaking up the cake into as small as you can. If there are any like rough spots in here, like if you have burnt pieces or pieces that are too lumpy, take them out. Because that's not good for cake paste. So we're just mushing it up. It smells really good. Now we're gonna add, I don't really measure stuff if it's not necessary. So we're just gonna add a little bit until it feels good. Very scientific. And this is why we put gloves on, because it's so goopy. You've got your cake paste. And you're gonna take like a good handful. And we're gonna build up his brain, because fat puppy cat heads are not cute at all. And whatever, don't worry about getting it too smooth, because whatever you can't hide, just put some buttercream over. It's the magic of buttercream. Okay, so now Puppy Cat started to look a lot more with Puppy Cat, like with his little cake paste skull. So now we're gonna put some buttercream on it, and this is basically what the fondant will stick to. So we're gonna, normally for tiered cakes you would just take this, put a big old glop right on, but because he's carved, I don't want to lose any of the lines I have, so I'm just gonna go in with the spatula. Okay, so now we're just rounding him out with some buttercream. Like I said before, you can always use what's it called? That canned frosting thing? Betty Crocker kind. Keep going around him, filling all the little nooks and crannies. You don't have to go too thick on this. Just make sure you cover everything. You're going in swooping motions. You're not going like this. This isn't the board he's gonna go on, but for now, this is his temporary home until we get everything all on there. Now he's starting to look a little round, super cute. Now we do his head. If your cake is getting warm by now, as I'm sure it is, because we've been doing this for a bit, don't worry, it should be stable enough. Should be. But just do your best to work as fast as you can. If not, you can always just stick a stick in there. Stick a stick in it. We're just trying to get like a good coat on his head first, because there are a bunch of lumps under it from the cake paste. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now he's covered, and he is ready for fondant. So next we're going to put him in the freezer, let him get a little solid, and then we'll cover him in white fondant. Meanwhile, we can roll out our white fondant. Okay, so now your puppy cat's in the freezer, so now we're gonna go roll out fondant to cover him with. Okay, so what we're gonna use for this is actually cornstarch. Some people use powdered sugar. I think it dries up fondant more, and I would never use flour, so just cornstarch. You don't need a whole bunch, just I would say about 2 tablespoons if it's like a huge piece of fondant. This is our white fondant. Always keep your fondant covered or else it will dry out. Alright, load up those sleeves. Just roll your fondant for a little bit. This will take out any air pockets that are in it and make it nice and smooth. You want to bring this little bit into the back. It's the butthole. So now we're going to do his eyes, and I think right there would be okay. You want to do this while the fondant's still fresh, or else you're going to get like little cracks. And PuppyCat has like ovally kind of eyes. This is what's called a water brush, and it basically just has water in it. Just roll them a little, in the palm of your hand. Smooth it out. Get those thumbprints out of there. I can't stand when thumbprints are on a cake. It's like a... And then do the other eye, and then we have his mouth, which is like right about there. If you have to print up a reference, go ahead. Let's do his mouth. It's kind of just like two. Now teeny nose, which is just another little ball of black fondant. A little bit of water. So now PuppyCat would not be PuppyCat without eyebrows. His eyebrows are like this tannish brown. So and there's just like big old poopies. So PuppyCat needs little paws. And you were probably like, oh, Aunt, you made too much brown. No, I didn't. I knew exactly how much I needed. So I'm just gonna roll this out just a little bit. So now I'm gonna cover that paw. So now we're going to do a rain boot, which I thought was totally adorable, and it had to be on the cake. So I'm going to take about that much. Just roll it up. And take off that much. Then what you're going to do is you're going to roll, pick a side and just roll. So you're making kind of like a duck, but you're just flattening it into a boot shape. And then this is what's called a ball tool. I'm just going to make a little boot. Oh, so cute. Put lines there. Use all parts of your tool. Okay. This is gonna be, I don't know what the word for it is, the ridge, I guess? I don't know. We're just making like a little snake. Water. And join the seam in the back. Cake decorating is like 85% hiding your seam, 25% kelp. How many SpongeBob references can I get in every day? Cute. And a little boot. I already made 3 other boots because PuppyCats have 4 paws. And the collar, which is pink. we want to roll this a little bit thicker than what we would normally do. And do like a little moon. So that's that part. So now let's do the bell. I think it's super cute. He has a bell on. Roll, roll, roll. Just trying to get it nice and smooth. Okay. And then again, ball 2. Some black. This was harder to do when they were small. I did PuppyCat cupcakes for Cartoon Hangover and they were so tiny. It was like ridiculous trying to get that bell done. Alright, and then I'm a mature adult. Then we're gonna put some water in there. I'm going to cut like an angle there. See? Okay. Now stick some toothpicks in the PuppyCat. Sorry, PuppyCat. Put some water on the back of this thing. Just be careful not to go through your bell. Like I just I'm gonna shape this up again. Now for the ear. Go about here. His ears weren't too big, but if you did large ears, like if you did a large version of this cake, you might have to put toothpicks in there. cute. Oh, you're so cute. Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna curl out our eggplants before we do the blanket. Okay, so basically we're gonna cover these with paper, what's it called? Plastic wrap. I don't want to say paper wrap. Alright, so we're gonna put this here and just cover it because that'll keep it from drying out while our blanket's gonna be rolled out. It's funny because as I'm rolling these, I'm like trying to make them not look like penises. This is more harder than you thought it would be. Now the blanket. And the blanket's this really cute, like yellowy pink color. And this has to be, I wouldn't say pretty thin, but thin enough. We's all done. We have our very own sourpuss puppy cat. And don't forget, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe and comment in the comment section what future episodes of Cakewalk you'd like to see. You can check out all the really awesome Bee and PuppyCat swag on WeLoveFine.com. And don't forget, you can watch new episodes of Bee and PuppyCat on Cartoon Hangover right here on YouTube. Bye, you guys.